Hi, my name is David Fleming from Disciples Ignited, and we are studying gems in the Gospel of John, devotional thoughts throughout the Gospel of John. Now, we're going to continue studying in John chapter 11 how Jesus is going to go raise Lazarus from the dead. Now, today I want to read to you John chapter 11, verses 14 through 16. So then he told them plainly, Lazarus is dead. And for your sake, I'm glad I was not there so that you may believe. But let us go to him. Now, why was Jesus telling that he was glad that he wasn't there so that they could believe? What did that mean? Well, we find out that Jesus has already told them that this is going to end up giving glory to God, and that it's not going to end in Lazarus' death. But yet we find out now that Lazarus has died. So how is this going to end up to God's glory? Well, because we're looking at it from hindsight, but just think about how they're seeing it. They're thinking, well, how's this going to end up in God's glory? Lazarus is dead. What is Jesus going to do? Well, Jesus tells them, I'm glad I wasn't there so that you'll be able to believe. What does he mean? Well, let me explain. Even if Jesus had have been where Lazarus was at, he would not have healed him. He would not have raised it. He wouldn't have cured him. Why? Because it was God's will that Lazarus die to give Jesus the opportunity to raise him up back to life. That was how God was going to get glory out of all this. And so if Jesus had been there, he would have had to have just stayed back and let Lazarus die. Can you imagine the commotion? Can you imagine what Mary and Martha would have been going through? Can you imagine what the disciples would have been going through? Lord, why don't you heal him? But no, Jesus said, it's better that I wasn't there to help you out so that you can believe. You know, sometimes we wonder why Jesus does the things the way he does. Oftentimes we find in hindsight that Jesus was actually being merciful to us. He was being merciful to the disciples. He was being merciful to Mary and Martha by not being there, because now he was going to step in and work a miracle of resurrection. I want to let you know, friends, when Jesus does things that you don't understand, trust him. That's all he wants you to do. Put your trust in him, and then if he tells you to do something, then you do that. When he told Mary and Martha to have the tomb opened up, roll the stone away, then do that. When he told the disciples, we got to go to Bethany, and they thought that Jesus would be threatened again with stoning. You just do what Jesus tells you to do, because he, my friend, is taking you to a miracle. Jesus goes from victory to victory, and even though it takes us sometimes through the valleys of darkness, don't give in to fear. Follow Jesus. He's taking you to a miracle. Join with me tomorrow, and we'll study some more about how Jesus works a miracle of resurrection in the case of Lazarus. So I'll see you tomorrow.